Welcome back to First Take. The Thunder beat the Suns last night to go up 2-0 on the conference's 8th seed. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 37 points, 9 assists, while Chet Holmgren added 19 for OKC. The Thunder led by 8 at the break and never looked back. However, things did get a little chippy in the second half as multiple technical fouls were thrown, including one at Devin Booker with 2:05 remaining in the third. You can see it here. Booker said he didn't receive an explanation as to why the tech was even thrown. Here was Booker on the officiating in Game 2.
For my 11 years, I haven't called a ref out by name, but James was terrible tonight, through and through. It's bad for the sport, bad for the integrity of the sport. You know, people are going to start viewing this as a WWE, you know, if they're not held responsible. It just feels disrespectful. You know I haven't won a championship in this league, but I have been in it for 11 years now. So to get to this point, to be treated like that, for me to even be saying something out loud, it's bad.
Kendrick Perkins now joins us here on First Take. Perk, what's your reaction to what Book said?
I mean, that's the effect of the Oklahoma City Thunder. You know, in the wild, right, the most annoying animal is the hyena, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And this
they
is
not
not
eat everything. They want to bother everybody.
Yeah, and that's
looking to nibble.
Yep, and that's the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're a bunch of wild pack of hyenas. They're a bunch of pack of hyenas defensively. And why do I bring that up? Is because this is not the first time that we done seen players crying after they finish playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is what they do. They get on your ass like back pockets. It's a certain level of physicality that they play with, and they just have earned the respect of the officials. And I get it, that technical foul, should he have gotten it? No, but even in the history tells me even when I was playing the game of basketball, we would always do that to refs. Hey, he deserved a tech for that now. Don't let him get away with that. That's part of the game. The real question is to Devin Booker is, when the hell are you going to show up and be Devin Booker? Be that guy. Be a guy that's powerful and not popular. Because let's keep it a buck. Since the play-in tournament, he hasn't been that guy that's went out there and had any type of real powerful moment. Yes, he's been a guy that's been, a leader, a guy that's been getting others involved, but Devin Booker get paid the big bucks to get buckets and dance on the big stage. That's what I want to see out of Devin Booker.
Well, listen, I agree with you there, but that don't make him wrong with what he was saying, because I watched it. I didn't think he deserved a tech. He's going to get fined because you called the ref out by name. A fine is coming. Right now, the NBA office also opened about an hour and a half ago. They looking for some money. They're going to take some money from that brother. Make no mistake about it, because you can't do that. But in the same breath, like Big Perk said, they're like a pack of hyenas. I call them a pack of piranhas. They come for you. This is what the Oklahoma City Thunder do. And they frustrate you because defensively, they're a collectively stout unit. Everybody's in their right places. They don't miss assignments. There's no drop off in energy no matter what, whether somebody's switching on you, whether they stand on you, fighting through picks, whatever it is. They are always, always on you. There are very, very few occasions where you see any lapses in judgment or in execution on a part of the Oklahoma City Thunder defense. That's what their signature is all about. Even without Jalen Williams this year, they were like 39 and 10. They're going to find ways to win games. They're going to find ways to get at you. And they get up in you, and you go against an opponent like that, you know that anything less than your A game is not going to suffice. And so that may be frustrating. He's got 45 points in 2 games, Devin Booker. They've held him in relative check. Obviously, he hasn't been what he's supposed to be against them, and I'm sure that has contributed to his frustration. But in the same breath, this ain't the first time he's played against OKC. This ain't the first time he has struggled against a team. For him to call out a ref like that, that's not something he normally does. Now, the NBA ain't going to take that into too much consideration because they still going to get that check from him. Make no mistake about it. But it is worth noting, that's not his MO. That's not something he does.
It's not, but we really need to stop as a whole, including the players that are playing on the floor, especially when it comes to OKC and SGA. When it comes to SGA getting a quote-unquote favorable whistle because of his ability to be able to draw fouls or get to the free throw line. We used to praise people for their ability of getting to the free throw line.
Right.
And I'm talking about greats, guys that are respected. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, LeBron James, the list goes on. So SGA is not the first player or superstar player, caliber player, the superstar type player to come about and start getting a favorable whistle or selling calls. It's been that way.
Yeah, but
for
that's
a long
not.
time.
But that's not really it with SGA. What the real issue with SGA is that SGA is a bad brother that's busting everybody's ass. I mean, that's what he's doing on a regular basis. He's just night in, night out, no matter who he goes up against. And it's the relative ease with which he does it. If it's a step back three, fine. If it's a pull up mid range, fine. If it's get to the hole, if it's a Euro step, fine. If it's get to the free throw line, fine. Whatever way you need him to beat you, he beats you. And he's just a spectacular, spectacular talent. That's what he has evolved into. But again, the collective complaint about Shai Gilgeous is what Big Perk is alluding to, because it ain't Phoenix. It's everybody that goes against OKC. They're complaining about some of the fouls that SGA is getting. They ain't bringing up the pull-up jumpers. They ain't bringing up the threes. They ain't bringing up the open court and how he dancing on cats and going to the left. They ain't thinking about the fact that you got guys with muscles coming out of their ear and they complaining about getting pushed off by this slim dude. Why? Because he's deceptively strong, he's slick, he's skilled, and he's just a magician on the basketball court on the offensive end of the floor. And people are jealous because they just ain't him. But that is not about Devin Booker last night. Devin Booker to call out an official, and I'm not calling out the official. I'm simply saying we have to take this into consideration. It's not what he does. He doesn't do that. Devin Booker doesn't do that. So for him to do that and to name an official by name, and he didn't say that one call. He said all night long, this guy, this guy, this guy. That's something for the NBA while you're taking a check from him to take seriously and look at the tape and see what Devin Booker is talking about, because that's not something he does.
So to that point, and I agree with you, you just got to be on your A game if you're playing Oklahoma City. But to play devil's advocate here, multiple teams and coaches, we heard Mike Brown say something too when the Thunder played the Knicks. I mean, coaches too. Like, nobody has a point that maybe they're being officiated differently?
Well, who is Mike Brown to be trying to call out somebody? Like Jalen Brunson is not a guy that sell calls and get to the free throw line.
That's absolutely true.
I mean, well, damn. But my thing is this, Shay. As a coach, right, I understand, okay, Devin Booker, this is his first time doing it, but the coaches, that set a bad tone in the locker room. In the playoffs, you're supposed to have a next play mentality. You know who's one of the best teams in the league at not getting technical fouls? The NBA champions, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They don't complain about nothing. And a lot of times they have the right to complain, but they have established an identity, a certain level of physicality. So they have a reputation that they play a certain type of way.
Dylan Brooks says they're not physical at all, if you heard his post-game.
Well, he can say what he wants, and I was very impressed with Dylan Brooks last night because he fought to the very end. And I give Dylan Brooks a lot of credit. Damn it, I wish he was a Knick, to be honest with you. I really would. I think he's the kind of guy that the New York Knicks need. I like Dylan Brooks a lot, but I want to say this too. Perk is right about how OKC doesn't complain. Here's the part that you didn't bring up about somebody like Mike Brown that deserves to be brought up. The Phil Jacksons, the Pat Rileys, even the Chuck Daly's or Larry Brown, people like that of the world, they would complain about the officiating going into a game in an effort to try to manipulate how the game would be called. That's entire, and it would be playoff time, stuff like that. That is entirely different than Mike Brown, who was complaining during the regular season about a loss, after it happened. You see what I'm saying? Now, that's different. Now, that's the kind of thing that makes you look at it and say, come on, bro, you need to stop that nonsense. Now, if you're complaining about something going into it, it's gamesmanship on the part of coaching. You're trying to get an advantage.
Right.
You're trying to make sure a game is called a certain way, that kind of thing. But when you complain after you get your ass kicked, in a regular season game, and it ain't even the playoffs. No, that's just an ass kicking that you did not absorb properly. That's what that's about.
So this might not be the last time we hear from players or coaches or whatever about Oklahoma City, but it wasn't all great yesterday. Jalen Williams did have 19 points, but he left the game in the third quarter with a left hamstring injury, and he did not return.
Also,
how concerning is that?
Also with the Phoenix Suns season.